Listen closely, dear audience, gather near and pay attention. Tonight, I have a story for you, one that will chill your spine, ignite your senses, and spark a blaze within your mind. We're delving into what happens when you refuse to conform. When you reject the role they crafted for you and flip the entire script. Imagine it, you broke their expectations, shattered their preconceptions, and now they're transfixed, helplessly ensnared by the shock of your defiance, unable to look away as you surge forward, defying every label, every limitation they dared to impose on you. Once upon a time, they thought they had you figured out, a predictable piece on their board, someone easily dismissed. They watched you, prodded you, thought they knew your every move. But oh, how utterly wrong they were. Their arrogance blinded them, their assumptions left them oblivious to the fire in your eyes, the tempest brewing beneath your calm exterior. You were always more than they could handle, a quiet presence they overlooked, counted out, dismissed. What they failed to see was this: the underestimated, the quiet ones, the overlooked, those are the ones they should fear the most. While they lounged in their self-assured certainties, you were planning, building, biding your time, becoming something they could never fathom. And then, in a single explosive moment, you struck. You didn't just break their mold, you obliterated it, leaving only the ashes of their assumptions. Now they stand frozen, caught in the very awe they once swore you'd never inspire. Every move you make draws them deeper, ensnaring them in the captivating magic they once denied you. They can't look away, they're mesmerized, spellbound by the sheer force of your presence, by a strength they never anticipated. They want to resist, to shout it down, but instead they find themselves captivated, entranced, unable to shake the hold you've established. Your defiance keeps them restless, replaying every moment, grasping for an understanding they'll never reach. They whisper to each other, desperate to rationalize your success, struggling to comprehend how they missed it. Deep down, they're shaken, haunted by a fear they can't admit, because now they see it: you've outgrown every box they tried to keep you in, surpassed every expectation they set. You're no longer a mere inconvenience, you're a force that towers over them, casting a shadow they can't escape. And that fear? It's like a poison, spreading through them, paralyzing them, as they realize they'll never be able to control what you've become. Each step you take, each victory you claim, reminds them of their failure to keep you down, of the unstoppable presence you've transformed into. Now the tables have turned, and they're the ones who are unsure, vulnerable, out of place. They once dismissed you as a mere footnote, an afterthought, but here you are, a full-scale symphony of defiance, a masterpiece of resilience they can't ignore. You're living rent-free in their minds, taking up space they swore you never would. They can't stop talking about you, can't help but track your every move. And oh, isn't it satisfying? They're trapped in the very awe they refuse to grant you, held captive by the force they could never foresee. And now you're unstoppable. Each step forward leaves tremors in their world, echoes they can't quiet. They struggle, scrambling for a sense of control, trying to conjure excuses or explanations that might make them feel better, safer, less threatened by the force of your presence. But deep down, they know the truth: you've transcended every boundary they set, crushed every glass ceiling they tried to contain you with. You're not bound by their rules, not restrained by their assumptions. You've rewritten the story, and now you're the protagonist of a tale they never imagined. They can't escape it. Every victory of yours is a reminder of their failure, a resounding testament to their limitations. The more they watch, the more they realize just how far beyond them you've soared. Their minds twist with envy, fear, and awe as they see the fire they tried to extinguish blaze brighter with each passing day. They might gossip, cling to their dwindling narratives, but the truth is already etched into their minds. They're spectators now, witnesses to a story they'll never control. And here's the beauty of it: you're only just beginning. The force within you is a storm they could never harness, a symphony of defiance and strength they never saw coming. Each day you grow bolder, wiser, unstoppable. You've become the very embodiment of what they feared: a boundless, limitless spirit, free from their chains, towering above the ruins of their assumptions. They once thought they had the power to write your story, but now they're merely bystanders, staring in awe as you script a narrative that eclipses anything they could have dreamed. So let them watch. Let them wonder, let them tremble. You owe them nothing, and yet with every triumphant step, every boundary broken, you give them something priceless, a vision of what they'll never be able to hold. let alone control. They are ensnared, haunted, left grappling with their own inadequacy as you rise higher and higher, a beacon they can't ignore, a legend they'll be forced to remember. This is your stage now, your story, and you are unstoppable. And as you rise, they feel the ground beneath them shift. Their certainty, once so unshakable, now crumbles in your shadow. They never imagined that the person they overlooked, the one they tried to silence, would become the very force that challenges their world. Each move you make leaves them scrambling, unsettled by a power they can't define, by a presence they can't contain. They watch, their pride unraveling thread by thread, as you soar past every wall they built to confine you. Now you are the spark, the catalyst of their discomfort, the mirror reflecting everything they lack. In you, they see courage, vision, relentless drive, the qualities they buried under layers of complacency and arrogance. They resent you for it, yet they can't help but marvel, drawn to the very essence they once tried to stifle. With every step forward, you remind them of their limitations, exposing the fragile reality they built on borrowed confidence. And the more they resist, the stronger you become. Their disbelief only fuels your fire. Their resentment only adds weight to the triumphs you gather. You don't need their validation, their approval, or their understanding. You are beyond that now. You exist in a realm they can only observe from a distance, their whispers fading as your name echoes louder. You've become something rare, something indomitable, a story that refuses to be contained, one that demands to be seen and heard. So let them stand in the wake of your storm. Let them feel the weight of every assumption they made, every limit they tried to impose, as you break through, forging a path they could never envision. This is your legacy, one they can't tarnish, a testament to every moment they underestimated you. You are no longer a footnote, you are the headline, the story they'll recount for years to come, the legend they'll speak of in reverent tones. Let them watch as you become the force they feared, a relentless, unstoppable power, a force of nature beyond their grasp. This is your story, and you are writing it without permission, without restraint, and without end.